1 tablespoon of ordinary apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of common Epsom salt, 1 gallon of warm water, 5 minutes of careful mixing, and 1 specific category of plants in your garden receives a dual action treatment that peer-reviewed agricultural research has documented as unlocking dramatic root development, magnesium absorption, and nutrient uptake in ways that no single amendment can produce on its own. Blueberries reach the acidic soil conditions their biology has demanded since they evolved on wild forest floors thousands of years ago. Azaleas produce deeper green foliage and more abundant blooms. Rhododendrons, camellias, gardenias, hydrangeas, hollies, magnolias, ferns, and strawberries all respond to the same treatment through the same underlying biology. Acidic soil unlocks nutrients that alkaline conditions physically chain up inside the soil chemistry. Adequate magnesium supplies the specific mineral that plant biology cannot manufacture chlorophyll without. Combined in one simple recipe, the two ingredients deliver benefits that neither one alone can produce, at a cost under $1 per gallon, using 2 kitchen staples that almost every American household already has sitting in the pantry. And the combination has been quietly used by knowledgeable acid-loving plant gardeners for decades, ignored by mainstream gardening advice because no company can profitably brand and market products that customers already own in their own kitchens. But before I walk you through the exact recipe that turns 2 kitchen ingredients into one of the most cost-effective treatments for acid-loving plants ever documented, and the specific safety warnings that determine whether the combination transforms your garden or accidentally kills the plants you are trying to help, you need to understand something almost every gardening video on this topic gets dangerously wrong. This combination is not universal. It is not appropriate for tomatoes. It is not appropriate for peppers. It is not appropriate for lettuce, most herbs, most flowering ornamentals, or your general vegetable garden. Stay with me, because using this treatment on the wrong plants will damage or kill them within days, and understanding exactly which plants belong in the acid-loving category is the single most important piece of information in this entire video. The story of this combination requires understanding the origins of both ingredients separately, because vinegar and Epsom salt trace to completely different eras of human history and operate through completely different biological mechanisms. The vinegar portion of the story reaches back approximately 5,000 years to ancient Babylonian civilization, where the earliest documented production of vinegar involved fermenting date palm sap into an acidic liquid used for preservation, medicine, and cooking. Egyptian, Greek, and Roman civilizations all developed their own vinegar production methods across the following millennia, and by the time of the Greek physician Hippocrates around 400 years before Christ, vinegar had established itself as a common ingredient in both medicine and food preparation across the ancient Mediterranean world. Apple cider vinegar specifically emerged as a distinct product during the medieval period, when European farmers discovered that apple juice fermented under specific conditions produced a vinegar with milder acidity and additional beneficial compounds compared to grape or grain vinegars. The scientific understanding of what actually happens during vinegar production arrived in the year 1864, when a French chemist named Louis Pasteur identified the specific bacterial species responsible for converting alcohol into acetic acid during fermentation. Pasteur named these organisms Acetobacter, and his research established the microbiological foundation for modern industrial vinegar production. The connection between vinegar and plant biology took much longer to develop, but by the middle of the 20th century, acid-loving plant specialists had documented that dilute vinegar applications could gently lower soil pH into the range that certain plants require for optimal growth. The specific combination of vinegar with Epsom salt for acid-loving plants emerged from practical gardening experience refined across multiple generations, and it now appears in extension bulletins and specialty gardening publications across the United States. The Epsom salt portion of the story reaches back a different direction to the year 1618, when a resident of the English town of Epsom named Henry Wicker noticed that cattle refused to drink from a bitter mineral spring on the town common. Contemporary chemists analyzed the spring water and identified the bitter compound as a salt of magnesium and sulfur, which we now recognize as magnesium sulfate. The compound became widely known as Epsom salt after the town where it was first characterized, and by the 19th century, English chemists had developed industrial production methods that made magnesium sulfate widely available at prices low enough for both medicinal and agricultural applications. The combination of Epsom salt with apple cider vinegar, specifically for acid-loving plants, brings together two ingredients from completely different origins, working together through complementary chemistry to solve a specific problem that neither ingredient alone can fully address. Here is the part nobody talks about. The reason acid-loving plants require acidic soil in the first place comes down to specific chemistry that most home gardeners have never had explained clearly. Every soil contains a mix of essential plant nutrients, but the availability of those nutrients to plant roots depends heavily on soil pH. In alkaline soils, meaning soils with pH above approximately 7, iron, manganese, aluminum, and several other trace elements bind chemically to soil particles in forms that plant roots cannot absorb. The nutrients are physically present in the soil, but they are not chemically available. In acidic soils, meaning soils with pH below approximately 6, those same nutrients dissociate from soil particles and become available to plant roots in forms the plants can actually use. Blueberries, azaleas, and other acid-loving plants evolved on the acidic soils of forest floors and heath environments, and their biology developed to expect and require the abundant iron and manganese availability that acidic conditions provide. When these plants grow in neutral or alkaline garden soil, they cannot absorb enough iron and manganese even when the nutrients are physically present in the ground beneath them. The result is the yellowing leaves, weak growth, and disappointing fruit production that plague blueberry bushes across most American backyards. The specific evolutionary background of these plants is worth understanding because it explains why the acidic soil requirement is so absolute rather than merely preferential. Blueberries evolved across millions of years on the acidic forest floors and boggy heathlands of North America and Northern Europe, where the accumulation of decaying pine needles, oak leaves, and other slow decomposing plant material naturally maintained soil pH in the 4 to 5 range across enormous geographic regions. The blueberry root system adapted so completely to those conditions that the plants developed a specialized mycorrhizal fungal partnership that only functions in acidic soil, transferring nutrients from soil to roots through fungal networks that stop working entirely when pH rises above 6. Azaleas, rhododendrons, and camellias developed similarly in the acidic mountain soils of Eastern Asia, where the same accumulation of acidic organic matter created the growing conditions their biology evolved to expect. When home gardeners plant these species in ordinary neutral garden beds, they are essentially asking plants to survive without the fungal partnerships their root systems require to function properly. No amount of general fertilizer can substitute for the underlying acidity that these mycorrhizal relationships depend on, which is why targeted acidification treatments like the vinegar plus Epsom salt combination often produce more dramatic visible results than expensive branded fertilizers applied to the same plants in the same soil. Now stay with me, because the biochemistry driving why the vinegar plus Epsom salt combination works specifically for acid-loving plants comes down to two mechanisms operating simultaneously through completely different pathways. The apple cider vinegar contributes acetic acid, which mildly lowers the soil pH in the immediate vicinity of plant roots for a period of days to weeks after application. This temporary acidification unlocks the iron and manganese that alkaline soil chemistry had chained up, allowing the plants to absorb these nutrients through their root systems for the duration of the acidic window. The Epsom salt contributes magnesium and sulfur, delivering the specific mineral that sits at the center of every chlorophyll molecule and supporting the amino acid biology that produces plant proteins. The combination works because the acidic conditions from the vinegar simultaneously enhance the plant's ability to absorb the magnesium from the Epsom salt, making the combined treatment more effective than either ingredient applied separately. Two mechanisms, one recipe, one carefully targeted category of plants. Here is the shareable detail that should change how you think about acid-loving plants forever. Blueberries specifically require soil pH between approximately 4.5 and 5.5 to produce properly. and this pH range sits significantly below the neutral 6.5 to 7.0 pH of typical American garden soils. Most home gardeners who plant blueberry bushes in their standard garden beds are essentially trying to grow a forest floor plant in conditions that make its evolutionary biology impossible to express. The plants survive sometimes, but they never produce the way they could in properly acidic conditions. A single well-timed application of the vinegar and Epsom salt combination temporarily shifts the root zone chemistry into the range where blueberry biology actually works, unlocking the iron and manganese absorption that the plants have been evolutionarily starving for since the moment they went into the wrong soil. So why is this combination not standard practice for every American gardener growing acid-loving plants, despite the peer-reviewed research supporting both underlying mechanisms? The answer follows the same pattern as almost every buried gardening technique. The garden supply industry generates substantial annual revenue selling specialized acid-loving plant fertilizers at premium prices, along with soil acidifier products, ammonium sulfate blends, and elemental sulfur amendments marketed to blueberry and azalea growers. Two kitchen staples that cost under $1 per gallon cannot support the branded marketing infrastructure that these commercial products depend on. The economics of teaching gardeners to combine vinegar with Epsom salt are exactly backward from how the retail garden supply industry needs to function, so the same simple recipe that acid-loving plant specialists have known about for decades sits largely absent from mainstream gardening advice. Now, I need to be honest with you, because this is where the responsibility of accurate information becomes critically important, and where most gardening videos on this combination fall dangerously short. Apple cider vinegar can kill your plants if you use it incorrectly. This is not an exaggeration or an abundance of caution. There are documented cases of gardeners who applied vinegar solutions to their blueberry bushes intending to acidify the soil, used concentrations that seemed reasonable but were actually far too strong, and watched their expensive blueberry plants die within days of the application. The vinegar chemistry that gently helps at proper dilution becomes phytotoxic at higher concentrations, burning root tissue and destroying the plants you are trying to help. Read this section carefully before you use this combination on any plant. Use only ordinary 5% household apple cider vinegar. Do not use agricultural strength vinegar sold for weed control, which can reach 20% or higher acidity and will kill any plant it contacts. Do not exceed 1 tablespoon of 5% apple cider vinegar per gallon of water. Stronger concentrations do not help more, they kill faster. Do not apply this combination to soils that are already acidic. Test your soil pH with an inexpensive kit before applying, and if your pH already runs below 6, this combination will push conditions into ranges that damage even acid-loving plants. And most importantly of all, do not apply this combination to plants that are not acid-loving. Tomatoes, peppers, most vegetables, most flowering ornamentals, lawn grass, and general garden plants prefer near-neutral soil conditions and will suffer serious damage from vinegar applications intended to acidify their root zones. There is a second honest reality worth flagging. Apple cider vinegar acidification is a temporary treatment, not a permanent soil solution. The acetic acid breaks down within days to weeks of application, and soil pH gradually returns to its natural range as the vinegar dissipates. For genuinely long-term soil acidification, you need permanent amendments like elemental sulfur, aluminum sulfate, peat moss, or pine needle mulch, applied and worked into the soil across multiple seasons. The vinegar and Epsom salt combination works as a rapid boost treatment during the active growing season, providing immediate acidification when your acid-loving plants need it most, but it does not replace the fundamental soil amendment work that permanent acid-loving plant beds actually require. There is a third caution worth understanding. Watch your plants carefully after each application for signs of stress. Leaf edges turning brown, sudden wilting, or new growth appearing damaged are all early signs that the vinegar concentration was too strong or the application volume was excessive. Stop treatments immediately if you observe any of these symptoms. Water the affected plants thoroughly with plain water to dilute the acid, and wait at least 4 weeks before considering any additional applications. Now we get to the part you came here for. the exact recipe and the specific application methods that produce the strongest results for acid-loving plants while avoiding the damage that improper application causes. You will need 1 tablespoon of ordinary 5% apple cider vinegar. Standard household apple cider vinegar from any grocery store works perfectly. Confirm the label states 5% acidity and avoid any agricultural strength products, pickling vinegars, or industrial vinegars sold for weed control. You will need 1 tablespoon of plain Epsom salt. Ordinary drugstore Epsom salt works, and any equivalent product containing only magnesium sulfate works identically. You will need 1 to 2 gallons of warm water. The larger dilution volume produces gentler application appropriate for young or newly planted acid-loving plants, while the single-gallon dilution is appropriate for established mature bushes. When in doubt, use the 2-gallon dilution and apply more of the solution rather than the single-gallon dilution applied more sparingly. Pour the water into a clean container. Add the tablespoon of Epsom salt and stir until fully dissolved. Add the tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and stir again briefly. The finished solution should appear clear with the characteristic mild apple vinegar aroma. Do not add any additional acidifiers, do not increase the vinegar concentration, and do not combine this treatment with any other soil amendments in the same application. Apply the solution as a soil drench around the base of acid-loving plants. Pour approximately 1 to 2 quarts of solution around each mature blueberry bush, azalea, or rhododendron, distributing the liquid evenly around the drip line, rather than concentrating it at the main stem. For smaller acid-loving plants like young transplants, use 1 to 2 cups per plant. Apply this treatment approximately every 2 to 3 weeks during the active growing season, beginning after new growth appears in spring and continuing through the summer growing period. Do not apply during dormant winter months when the plants cannot use the nutrients or absorb the acidification benefit. Do not exceed 1 application every 2 weeks, because more frequent treatments cause the acid concentration to build up in the root zone faster than the plants can safely process it. The specific seasonal timing worth understanding matches the biological rhythm of acid-loving plants across the American growing season. The first application of each year works best approximately 2 weeks after new spring growth becomes visible on your blueberry bushes, azaleas, or rhododendrons. At that early growth stage, the plants are actively developing new leaf tissue and beginning the flowering process that will produce fruit later in the season. Providing acidic conditions and magnesium during this critical window supports the entire year of subsequent production, and the effects carry forward across months of continued plant development. The second and third applications, spaced at 2 to 3 week intervals, sustain the acidic conditions through the flowering and early fruit development period, when the plants demand nutrients most intensively. By midsummer, when the fruit is developing rapidly and the plants are working hardest, the accumulated benefit of properly timed applications produces the deep green foliage and abundant fruit set that acid-loving plants can achieve when their soil chemistry finally matches their evolutionary requirements. Applications continue through late summer and gradually taper off as the plants approach dormancy in fall, allowing the natural soil chemistry to normalize before winter. The next time you look at your struggling blueberry bushes, your yellowing azaleas, or your rhododendrons that never quite reached the deep green foliage they should have developed, remember what you now know. 2 kitchen ingredients that acid-loving plant specialists have combined for decades, working through chemistry that Louis Pasteur documented in 1864, and that Henry Wicker's Epsom spring water introduced to English chemistry in 1618, delivering the temporary acidification and magnesium supplementation that your acid-loving plants have needed since the moment you planted them in soil that was fundamentally wrong for their biology. The harvest begins now.